Hello guys, welcome to Ashish Academy again. Now today we are discussing basically all about the string. It's a very famous and very important topic if you are working with Java, and a very interesting topic. You will also enjoy when you are reading or when you are dealing with the strings, or when we are going in deep inside the, because every day in day to day every program and everything, whenever you are writing anything, so you will use maybe a 60-70% time is for a string. So what is a string? So basically a string in Java we are considering as an object. So string is a Java object that are backed internally by the character array. So we already discussed basically different type of data types: character, integer, float, or maybe all different types of data types we already discussed. So it is a basically, we also discussed the array, the set of elements. So basically it's a character type of array. Okay, so say that since the arrays are immutable, cannot grow or cannot change, now it's a very important point is for immutable. So immutable basically we will discuss in threading also. Immutable are the objects which are with, whenever you create object, after that you cannot change it. Okay, once it is created, when it's created, so there is a no chance of a creation. So now if you say, if the arrays are already created, it's immutable, you cannot change it, it cannot grow. So strings are immutable. So when anybody can ask in the interview, is this strings are immutable? Yes, and what are the use of immutable objects? Then that is also we will discuss in some time in later sessions. So majorly immutable objects are the thread safe. And any time of, if you are working in multi-threaded environment, multiple threads are using a single object, so it is always better to have immutable objects. So string is always the immutable object, so it is always a thread safe. So that is, we can say, is for thread safety is concerned, that is also we can go for an string. Now so when we are saying a set of a characters, right, so it is backed by a character array, that is you can take it. And other, if you are comparing in C++ or C, apart from as comparing to these, in Java string we are considering as an object. So string are stored on the heap area in a separate memory location known as a string constant pool. So basically string constant pool is also a part of a heap area. And you already know, we already discussed that there is a different type of memory area. We discussed all the class level variables are generally stored in heap area. All method level variables and memory allocations are done in basically in the stack. So each and every method maintains its own stack. So when we are talking about the string pool, so string constant pool is a part of a heap area. Now we will see the picture is how the string pool behaves. So it is a separate block of memory where all the string variables are held in or maybe stored it here. So JVM creates a string object, then it's given the value of string constant pool. So when, if you are saying string str1 is equal to hello, so directly then JVM creates a string object which the given value is a string constant pool. When you create a string object using a string literal, JVM first checks the content to be created object. So if that content is already available in a string constant pool, basically, so JVM first check it. If that same content is available and it is already referred by any other reference, so if there exists then object in the pool with the same constant, then it returns the reference of that object. So it will return the reference, it will not create another one. So note it down. Basically, when the same content of any string, if it is already created in a string constant pool, basically, so this particular, you can say this statement here, we are not using any new keyword. Okay, that is also you need to understand. When you are creating like this, then it is creating an string constant pool. So basically string constant pool, anytime another, if I will write a string str2 is equal to hello, means str1 and str2 both are pointing to a same reference. It doesn't create a new object. So if the content is different than existing, then only it created a new object. If So both the string str1 and str2 is create different content, then it will create a new object. So you can see here. So basically this is a stack area here. Now it's a heap area. Here you will see there is a basically a different object in a string. So this s1, s2, s3 and s4 both are part, all four are part of this string pool. Now each and every s1, s2, s3 and s4 all have a different content, hence it is created a different object. If s2, s3 and s4 anybody has the same constant, then it will pointing to a same. That is a basically string pool concept. Now this is a basically heap area where this s5, s6 and s7 is created. Now this s5 is created with the new keyword. Okay, I will tell you, I will explain it to you how. Now there is also a concept of equality, so that is also we will discuss. And we already discussed that immutable objects and mutable objects, so that is also we had a discussion. I guess this is very important picture where you can understand, because when we talk about a compare with the equality through a equal operator or maybe equals method, so then we will check that why this string pool or this particular equal operator is returning a false or true like this. So you need to understand, you always think about this particular picture here. So let's go into a programming. So I hope you are able to see my screen. I have created a one string class here. In this string example, I have created, there is a two different string here. So s4 I have created is abc, s5 I have created a abc. Okay, now this is our public method, public static void main. It's a simple, it's an entry point. Here I have created again s1 is equal to abc, s2 this is a character type of array abc. Here s3 is also again created a new. So these are basically a local to a method, these are basically a class level. Okay, so that's why I have just given a different details here. Okay, now we will just think how we will check it now. Okay, so I have created an object here, let's this comment it here. Okay, so I will print each and everything here. What is the value of s1, s2, s2 zeroth element? This is a basically character type of array. So we have seen that array element, how we can initialize. This is also the way you can initialize the array here. So you can directly you can assign the values here. Okay, so this array has a three variable, oh, sorry, three variable, or so a zeroth, one and two. So the length of this array is actually a three, and zeroth element is a, first element is b, and second element is c. So you got that. So the length of this array is three, and this is the basically, so that's the way you can take a considerations. Now let's run this program. So this is a sysout. I have just taken a sysout statements, and I have just put it as a s1 here, plus operator s1 if I wanted to print this value. So you can just concat through this plus operator string. This is double quote is also a string. Basically this double quote is also considering as a string. This inside all this, both the double quotes are considered as a string. So plus operator can concat these strings. Okay, here in a println. So basically I'm just printing it s1, s2, s2 zeroth element, s3 here. Okay, then I have used that there is a substring method. So what is a substring? That is also we will discuss. Let's comment on this as well. Java application. So you see here, value of S1 is ABC. So this S1 value is ABC. Take a value of S2, because this S2 we are printing, it's a printing basically is the memory address. So value of S2, it will not print any value here. Okay. because we cannot print the value of any array like this. Okay, when you are accessing a zeroth element, then it is printing as a s2 zeroth element is a, like this. Then system dot s3. So what is a s3? S3 is abc. So basically this is an abc here, like this. So do you get my points here? What is the basically why this printing like this? Now there is a difference if you are creating a string without any new operator and with a new operator. There is a, because any time of is s4 or maybe without new operator, if you are creating any string, it is creating into a string pool. When we are creating with the new, it is going in the heap area. That is like that. That is a basically a consideration here. Now if you will check it here, in that is a method inside a method here, that is also. So let's compare. So this is a compare method. Okay, so now there is a substring. So now string class has a so many methods here. Okay, so in substring you can see like this, there is a different methods: character, index, concat, compare, like this. Okay, so you can search if you wanted to search any string, so you can use a index of. Okay, if you wanted to replace, you can replace substring. If you wanted to get substring, you can pass a substring 0 and these two indexes, like that. So that's the way. There is a different methods which you can use on the string. So that is, you can use it. I am just using basically a substring here. So you can see substring method. So it is from 0 to first element. So when we are saying substring of a s1, so what is an s1? S1 is this. So 0, 1 and 2. So let's see what will be the value s1 after a substring. So that is, we will see it here. Run as. So basically value of s1 after, so we will get a. So it will not considering basically this one as well. No, that is, oh sorry, this not considering this B. So always keep remember, maybe sometimes interviewer can ask, or maybe you will get that objective pattern questions. What is the value of substring 0th 1, like that? So it is not, it is just considering 0th value. So you always remember this kind of a questions generally coming into objective patterns in any interviews like that. And people can ask why the string is immutable. So that is, we already discussed. Now we will see. So we have used the substring method on s1. Okay, then again we are printing to s1. So when we are printing this again on s1, that value is abc. So there is a no change in this s1 basically value after doing the substring as well. Do you get my points? Right? So there is a no such changes, means that original object is not getting changed at all. Okay, so that is the meaning, is the immutable. So anytime if you wanted to change and if you wanted to assign, okay, let me just again do this. So now I'm just concatenating here. Concatenating here means we are adding here. So how to add it? I can pass another string is hi. Okay, so again I'm just now control run is Java application. Now if you see value of s1 after substring, sorry, यहाँ पर So this is a very simple example. Now you will see concatenating. So s1 dot concat. So I have added here this high, I have appended here or concatenated here high in ABC. Okay, so I have appended here, but again I am printing s1, the same object. Okay, this s1, so basically the value is ABC. So actually that s1 is didn't get changed. Again I'm saying this is s1 is didn't get changed after doing a substring or maybe after concatenating here. Means it is not updating this the main object. That is the basically meaning of the immutability. Okay, so that is the basically if you will perform any operations but the original object will not getting changed. That is a basically the main purpose of this immutable object. Now there is an important concept of this compare. Okay, so as we already discussed here, this string s4 is ABC, s5 is new string ABC. So I have written a compare method. It's a public void. Okay, it's a simple method here. If already discussed this if statement here, equal to operator is basically for comparing something, and equals method, string provides the equals method. Basically equals method is comparing the content. Again I'm saying equals method is comparing the content. This equals method is generally is comparing this internal memory address or this object reference majorly. So if object is this or reference is same, means both objects are same, right? But if they are pointing to a different object, then this equals methods are returns false. Correct. Now let's see. Again I'm just control S. Okay, now I have created an object of this class and I'm calling this compare method. Control S, run as. So you see here, there is a one statement is getting printed, both are equals in the method. So this particular statement is printed, this statement is not printed. Now the question is why? Because if you will see S4 and S5, both has a value is ABC, correct? Now, if you will, we have already discussed in our last picture here. So this particular S4 is created inside the string pool, and this is created inside the heap. Okay, because this is a separate object, this is a separate object, hence this if is returning as a false, and this particular statement is not getting printed. And this statement is printed because equals method checking the content. So this ABC and ABC both are same, the content is same, hence this it is a returning as a true. So I hope you got that this equality, it's a very important concept. You can check multiple permutation and combinations like that, and then you can see here. Now there is another concept of a string buffer and string builder. Okay, so string buffer and string builder, basically string buffer is a class, it's a mutable class, and modifiable means you can append, add, update, delete, you can do in the string buffer any object. So that's why this string buffer introduced here. And it is the same, but just like in a string, but it is a modifiable, means it will be changed. It is not like immutable class in a string, you cannot change the main object, but here you can change the object itself. We will see string builder is also in Java represents a mutable sequence. So string builder is also same concept. Okay, but there is a difference between string builder and string buffer. So string, you will see here, string buffer has a disadvantage where all its public methods are synchronized. All methods are string buffers are synchronized. Okay, so sometimes it's a performance overhead. because when we are talking about synchronized methods, so at a time only one thread can access it. Okay, that's why this string builder got introduced here. Okay, so both has the same functionality wise, but this is a basically majorly a difference between string buffer and the string builder here. Okay, now we will see in a code how we can make this string buffer. So this is a string buffer class I have just seen here. S3 I have created a string buffer here. Okay, this is a string buffer. Okay, so just simple string buffer, new string buffer. There are n number of methods in string buffer class. You can use any method here. S3 basically just in string buffer object I have created like this, and this mean an addition here. Okay, so you will see here run. So value of S3 before it, it's ABC. So you will see S3 is an ABC here. Then again, I have done S3 dot append with additions here. The value of S3 here, you will see ABC with addition. So what is happening here? So if you wanted to add, update, delete here, so this original object got changed. That means it's a mutable object. Anything if you will perform on this S3 means this original object is got changed. That's why we are saying it's a mutable object. So that is the basically meaning of this. That's why we are using this string buffer here. So you don't need, so in the same object we can perform a multiple operations here. We have just used that append method. Append method is just like a concat method in the string class. This is the same way we can just do append and append. Okay, like this. So this is a basically a concept of a string buffer, and I have already given the pros and cons for a string buffer. Now there is a string builder. So string builder is also a class introduced in JDK 1.5 onwards. This string builder is also we have used it. I have already given the difference between a string buffer and a string builder. So you see here string builder, I have created a new object here. You see how we can print it. The value of S3 is ABC here. That is actually not required here. So in a string builder also you will see the same methods here, just like a string buffer. You can also see here. Hello. So basically just I have written that there are methods. You can just click on dot and see the same append method here. We can use it and you see the value here. Run as. You will see here. So difference I already told you, because there is some performance overhead in the string buffer. So you can just see here, and so these are basically major difference between string buffer and string builder here. Okay. So I hope you got that the basic concept of a string, and if you wanted to, there is also a concept of a split. If you wanted to split that string tokenizers, so that is also we will discuss in some other sessions where you can find out how we can split the string or how we can use the tokenizer here. Thank you very much.